takes more than, one time if it didn't look right, sound right, whatever, microphone, whatever the case may be. So I learned a lot.
What's the biggest difference between E-Melody, the actress, and E-Melody, the singer?
Acting and singing.
I mean, that's a good cop out. That's a good cop out. Let me rephrase the question. Let me rephrase the question. What's the difference between the singing stage and the acting stage? So the stages, the situations. Well, what's the difference?
The performances are different. Theater is you can kind of get away with, on the theater side, with just kind of not learning your lines fully, because if you know what you're talking about, whoever you're playing the role next to, they can catch up with you. They can get you back on track. When you're in a movie and it's live, it's kind of like it's there. You got to go for it. They may take it back, they may not take it back. They're going to tell you to keep rolling. I feel like the stages on the performance side can be a little different. But for me, I think artistry is artistry. Whether I'm singing, whether I'm acting, regardless of what I'm doing, I'm going to give my all at 1,000+%.
If you had to choose for the rest of your career, singing or movies, what would you do? Which one?
Singing.
It would be singing?
It would be singing. I've been singing my whole life, and I couldn't, if God took it away from me, I would literally be like, what to do now? What literally to do now? Because that's a huge part of how I release a lot of my stuff. When I get up on Saturdays and I sing, I'm literally singing from the entire week that I've had.
I could tell.
I'm literally releasing from whether it's a good week or a bad week. I'm literally leaving it on the stage.
I can tell every Saturday morning. I can tell, and it doesn't help with the added rigmarole.
And when you want things to go so smoothly and it doesn't, it takes away every time. But I still use the stage for singing as my outlet. That is where I go to be like, all right, God, I know that I just did this about 3 days ago in my prayer closet. I know whatever, but we're gonna lay it here on the stage because somebody else may need to receive it. So I can say probably singing.
So question. So far as for acting, especially like when you had the lead part. So were there things you took from things you went through and put it into whatever you had to do to get certain emotions out?
I can't cry on the spot. And there were I can't cry or scream. And if you saw the movie, you know exactly what part I'm talking about. I can't cry or scream. And trying to channel the emotions to cry was probably the hardest thing to ever do. I did it with a little extra teardrops, give me some Visine or something. I did it and I got it done, but trying to cry on the spot was not something that I would. And I had to channel an emotion just for me to sound like I was crying. So that was probably the most challenging part of a movie. Give me something that's gonna make me laugh. I can get people to laugh all day, but I'm not a crier.
It made me think about that scene with Will on Fresh Prince.
And he had to force himself to cry.
You don't want me, man.
You know what? I had to think about that scene because those are daddy issues. Unfortunately, I had to tap into those daddy issues in order for me to have some type of emotional connection to it. Especially because of the scene that it was on was a scene, I think, what scene was it that I was crying on? I think my stepdad. Yeah, my stepdad was verbally abusive. Was calling me ugly as a kid. So it was a flashback of my younger self having an interaction with my stepdad, and so I had to channel that, and it was hard. But I had to tap into those daddy issues, and it got me there. But because I'm low key like over those daddy issues, I just don't deal with it at all because I've already dealt with it. No reason to keep repeating a cycle. It was a little hard to kind of tap into it because of that. But I tapped.
But with this particular role, would you say it was like a tad bit more easy because you played a singer? You played a singer who...
I played a drunken, rude, angry singer.
Yeah, so you played yourself. And
whoa!
And I'm joking, people.
Thank God I'm not angry. If you would have called me a few years ago, you could probably say that though. we ain't gonna stunt because I'm lying. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah, I'm saying, but no. So you played. So with that part, you pretty much just drew from just your normal.
The singing part was easy. That wasn't nothing. I had to literally go lay. I laid vocals down in that too.
After you got in the car accident and
couldn't scream. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, they was like, man, that was the fakest, worst scream I've ever heard. I said, I'm trying. I don't have a high pitched voice. I mean, as y'all can see, I told y'all earlier, I'm gonna have to talk in my, my vocal rest voice because I don't have
do your Michael Jackson.
I have a heavy voice.
Michael
So
Jackson.
they was just like, make it realistic. I was like, shh, this is realistic. What you want me to do? I can't go no higher. This is as high as it's going. Like, I don't know how high am I supposed to go in this.
They should have got a voice in us.
Yeah.
And doing that whole scene was even crazy. Like, just having a fake car accident and looking like I'm slapping. Like, it was crazy.